Hello, this is Michael Jillian. Today I'll be doing an unboxing of the Wurkkos WK04. I'll also be doing a review in the future, but for now, just an unboxing. And on the back, it has some information of how to contact Wurkkos along with their QR code, things for choosing Wurkkos. On the bottom is information about this product. It's the WK04 model, black, and I guess this is the LED emitter inside. The tint is 4750 to 5000K, and I got the set, which means it comes with the lanyard and charger, clip, stuff like that. And let's take a look at it. And here's what comes in the box. And you got your lanyard here, and it does not come with O-rings since it is a closed unit, so you won't need to open it. And this is the lanyard they give out with most of their flashlights. I personally am not a fan of lanyards at all, so I'm probably not going to use that. Here's the charging cable. It is USB 2.0. As you can see, there are no pins for the 3.0, and USB-C to A. It is like a rubbery material, about 3 feet long. And over here you have the clip that is only one directional because it only has one spot over there for you to put it in. Here are the instructions, and since it is not the simple user interface or Android, you actually will need to read this in order to figure out how to use it. It's all in English, and if you want to pause the video to read it, you may. Okay, well, mostly in English at least. And over here is the actual unit. Let's take it out, take it off. And I have very high hopes for this flashlight because it is relatively cheap, and I think there's a big use case for it. So on the side right here, it says Wurkkos WK04. Over here it has these markings. Over here is the charging port and the power light. Over here is a little spot for the clip. And on one side is a diffuser, and on the other side is a flashlight. They're calling this a spotlight, and they're calling this a floodlight. So let's open up the charging port over here and show you how to charge it. And I'm using my Anchor charger, and let's see if it fits. And I had a problem with a previous flashlight made by Wurkkos that this charger wouldn't fit, but now the standard chargers seem like they are fitting the WK04. If you do have a problem, you'll have to use the cable that it came with, and that should be fine. When it's charging, it blinks red like this, and when it's fully charged, it'll just turn green. After you press the button, whether you turn on the flashlight or not, the battery indicator will turn on, and that's the green over here. It'll stay lit for about 5 seconds. And green basically means it's at 70 to 100% battery life, while red will mean it's 30 to 70, and flashing red basically means below 30, and you need to charge it. Wurkkos basically claims impact resistance of 1 meter or 3.28 feet for most of their flashlights, and waterproof IP65, which means that it's pretty waterproof. This is probably more waterproof than some of the other ones because it is a closed unit. You can't unscrew it anywhere. Here is the size in inches. It's about 2.75 inches. And here's a size comparison between the flashlights. So here is the WK04. Over here is the Sofrin ST21 Pro. And it's around the same size, but it doesn't have the diffuser at the other end. And it uses a 16340 battery, I believe. Over here is the FC11 with the short tube. This is the 18350 tube. So that's very close in size. However, as you can see, it is less thick and not as long. And here is a full-size FC11 right next to it, FC13 right next to it, and as you can see, it is much bigger. So that's the size comparison. Honestly, I like the idea of having a clip on this, so I'm going to put the clip on, and there we go. I think this is a good spot for it. So I mentioned the UI is different on this, and the user interface on the FC11 is a lot simpler. You press the button once, turns on, press the button again, turns off. Whereas the FC13 has Android on it, so it has a lot of different options, but it's pretty simple. In the simple mode, you press it, turns on, press it again, turns off. However, this flashlight, even in the simplest mode, will take some practicing to get used to. Okay, so here is how to use it. Let's find a button over here. Oops. Okay, so when it's off, you press long press, turns on, long press, turns off. So I guess that's pretty simple. When it's on, so let's turn it on. Double click, and you basically can switch between the functions. So right now it's using the floodlight. Press it again, it's going to be the red light. Press it again, it's going to switch back to the flashlight. And then you can hold down again and it'll turn off. So basically, that's how to switch between the different functions. And of course, if you just press it one time, it'll just show you the battery that is on it, right on screen. Now this button is actually, you have to press it. Like, it's not a joke. If you double click, and double click will turn on lockout. As you can see, it just indicated it's on lockout, so now when I click it, nothing happens. Like, let's say I just, press it or whatever, it'll basically do nothing because it's on lockout. So if you have it in your pocket and you don't like that it turns on by mistake, you can do that. However, the button is harder to press, so I don't think that will happen. You'll have to pretty intentionally click it for it to actually turn on. If you want to unlock it, pretty simple. Double click and now it's unlocked. As you can see, it's working. And once it's on, you can go through step mode, which I just showed. So hold it down, it turns on, and then you have step mode. So basically you just click it one time and it'll go through step mode. And if I double click, it'll switch to the spotlight, the floodlight, and you could also click to switch the brightness levels, as you can see there. Sorry, it's bright. I know it's hurting people's eyes. So I'm going to talk about this more in my review, but I think there's a really big place for this type of flashlight as an EDC flashlight. I think the bigger flashlights are just too big, and honestly, having the floodlight is such a big deal. I think it's for sure worth having this. So I'll talk about that more in my review. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a thumbs up, and we'll see you in the next one.